So we are discussing what is the most important or dominant force or the dominant planet in our life. We may feel the influence. We are talking about 9 planets as 9 countries, and one of the president may be strongest among those 9 countries. But what if he is away from the office? We may feel the influence of another less stronger president more. So planets become dominant in the chart due to their association with the significator of life in general. And in general, that is the first house lord, moon, and the sun. Now, any planet associated with these points will be noticed more because they influence life as a whole. And within that context, the stronger planet will do this to a greater extent. To determine which planet is the most dominant, add up how many associations each planet makes in the birth chart. Planets become dominant if the planet rules the first house. The planet in the first house, the planet that aspects the first house, the planet that is conjunct with the first house, Lord, the planet that is the dispositor of the first house, Lord, the planet that aspects the first house lord, the planet that is conjunct with the moon, the planet that is aspecting the moon, the planet that is the dispositor of the moon, the planet that is conjunct the sun, the planet that is aspecting the sun, the planet that is dispositor of the sun. So even though the first house, the moon and the sun are all the significator of life in general, we consider the first house more for personality, moon for the mind, and sun for the soul. So what we have discovered, that you have to look for a planet that is having any relationship with the moon, sun, first house, and first lord. So we have to see these 3 planets. So which of the 9 planets is exerting its force mostly on these 3 planets and these 3 forces. The first force is the sun, the second is the moon, and third is the ascendant or the first house and the first lord. So if any planet is either aspecting, either in conjunct, or either if it is a dispositor of these planets, that is sun, moon, or the ascendant, so any relationship with the lord of the first house, the sun and the moon, any planet, if it is exerting the most relationship and most dominant force on these 3 planets, is the most dominant planet in our life. So it can be your ascendant also, it can be your lord of the 9th house, or it can be even any malefic planet if it is exerting most of the influence on sun, moon, and the lord of the first house. So we will take one small example so that it is clear to you. Suppose in a chart, moon is in the 7th house conjunct with Jupiter and Saturn, and the lord of the ascendant is Jupiter, and the sign rising in the ascendant is Pisces. Ketu is in the 11th house, and Rahu and Venus is in the 5th house, and Mars is in the 3rd house. So in that case, or suppose Mercury or Sun is in the 4th house, or consider a case in which Sun, Jupiter, Moon is in the 1st house, Mars is in the 9th house, Ketu is in the 5th house, Rahu and Venus is in the 11th house, and Sun and Mercury is in the 10th house. Then in these cases, in the first case, Jupiter is the lord of the ascendant, and in the second case, Mercury is the lord of the ascendant. So what we can see is that the planet Saturn is aspecting Sun and Mercury by its 10th aspect. The planet Saturn is also aspecting the ascendant by its 7th aspect. The planet Saturn is also aspecting the 9th house by its 3rd aspect. Now, Jupiter is the lord of the ascendant and it is aspecting the house. Moon is in the house, 7th house, and the lord of this 7th house is in the 4th house. So we can see that in such charts, Saturn, Jupiter and Moon, these are the three planets which Saturn, Jupiter and Mercury, these are the three planets in both the charts. In the first chart where Sun, Jupiter and Moon is in the 6th house, and in the second chart in which Jupiter, Sun and Moon is in the 1st house. So in both these charts we observe that Saturn, Mercury and Jupiter are the planets which is aspecting Sun, which is influencing the 1st house and its lord Sun and Moon the most. So these three planets will be a dominant planet in the horoscope. Similarly, you can find out dominant planet in your horoscope. So stay tuned to me and keep watching.